Welcome, ladies and gents, back to the Lady Layer. I'm so excited. I missed last week, but I am back like I never left, baby. So today we're going to get into a bunch of topics. We're going to get into the buzz layer and to a couple of other things. So Kendra, Trina B, what do we have for today?
So just catching up in the buzz layer with things that are going on in society and on social media. We did see a clip today of DDG, Nick Cannon, and Lance Gross. I think it's Lance Gross or Lance Gross. I think it's Gross.
I think it's Gross. I think so too.
Gross. But they were talking about supporting your wife or significant other during postpartum. And I thought this was an important conversation because a lot of men don't understand what women go through after having a baby. And they kind of just talked about, being supportive, understanding the different things and the changes that happen with their bodies and them going through different moods and things like that. And just being supportive during those processes, because a lot of times when your partner doesn't understand, they think you're being dramatic or they're just like, oh, you're difficult to deal with. And a lot of couples have a hard time, especially if the woman goes through postpartum depression. So I just thought it was an important conversation that they had. Yeah, so we're going to show a clip of the conversation so that you guys can see what we're talking about.
To kind of support her when she was going through that postpartum journey.
Just being patient, man. Just keeping that in mind when you going through something with her, or going through, like maybe y'all might have a little disagreement or something, or, we might butt heads here and there, but, I try my best to be as patient as possible.
That's a great one. I would add to that, the next P is being present. You got to be there. You got to be present, and that's what being a man and being a father is about.
That's a fact.
For your woman.
That's a fact. Lance?
I would say being understanding and gentle. If you don't understand, try to create an understanding.
I think that is good that men are talking about it and discussing their experiences. But I just want to know which baby mama Nick was talking about, because.
Well, apparently he is present for all of them. Like, none of them have had a complaint about him showing up for the birth, being present. I don't know how he manages to spread his time.
Except for the one who used to be the video vixen. I don't remember what her name is. Her daughter's name is Onyx or something like that. Mm-hmm. She always be talking about how Nick don't be there.
Yeah.
And then because I'm a Love and Hip Hop watcher, I always give him the side eye. How what's her name? Jessica something.
Yeah, Jessica White.
Yeah, she always be talking about how when they were trying to get pregnant and having miscarriages, he wasn't there for her and he was blaming her and all of this stuff. So
yeah, that ain't cool.
With him, I'm like,
I of Nick either, but I do think that this conversation is important because I feel like I said before, I feel like so many men do have no connection with postpartum. They don't think it's real. Mm-hmm. They don't understand it, and therefore they can't support their women. And so just by having other men have to speak up about it, whoever it is, I think it's important and helpful because, coming from women, I don't know if men will receive it the same. Mm-hmm. But coming from another man that has went through it and, kind of telling you you need to support her. You need to be there. Just show up.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a good conversation. I just don't know if he was the best messenger.
Right.
I think that's what a lot of people were saying that, but it is a huge, I think both of them were I think the whole group was a weird messenger, for this conversation. But DDG seems like he's been there for Hallie, but it is it's a very important conversation to have with men in general, because I don't think they understand how wild it is for a woman to go through postpartum. Our hormones are off the chain, off the chain. So we can't even control a lot of the things that we're the way we respond to certain things. We're snapping. Right. There's a thing called postpartum rage. You literally just feel like, anybody try me, I'm about to cuss you I'm about to cuss you out.
And those ones that have it so bad where they kill their kids. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's called psychosis.
Yeah.
Postpartum psychosis. It can get so bad to the point where they're like not even here anymore, and they're in a psychosis state. Like I don't think postpartum is talked about enough and how serious.
Period.
And I heard that postpartum depression can last for years. Like it's not something that you just get over. And people like to say, "Oh, maybe you just have the baby blues," and it's like, "What baby blues, bitch?" Like, excuse my language. I'm going like this is postpartum. Like it is what it is. I'm not even myself anymore. This isn't my body anymore. And we went from being pregnant, where everybody was paying attention to us. Now the baby's born. Everybody's like, "Bloop, bye, you're fine." And it's like, no, I'm not fine. Now this baby's on my nipple.
It's a drastic shift and change, and it happens instantly. And I think after you go through it as a woman, like I felt like after I had my children, I was more understanding, and I tried to be more present with women. Like after they have a baby, like you know how you walk in the door and be like, "Where's the baby?" I try not to do that because I understand how that feels, and even if it's like jokingly, when you just had that baby, your emotions are all over the place. It's hurtful. And so
very, very hurtful.
Yes, I think it's important, like you said, just in general, for everybody to have these conversations, because even friends and family may not understand, you know, what that woman is going through. That woman don't even understand what she's going through. So, yeah.
Well, even so, like you just said, like even when there's a baby shower, I don't get the baby presents. Like I might give them a onesie or two, but in all honesty, I give the mom a postpartum care package. Literally, no one thinks about the mom. No one does. Like they think like the baby shower is for the baby, but it's like when the mom gives birth, like what have you helped her with? Like literally nothing. Like I love to care for the mom and pour into the mom because I've been there and I know exactly what that means. But anyways, I'm glad that they talked about it, especially in the Black community, amongst our community. Like we need as much as support as possible. We do, especially amongst our Black men. Please talk about it more so we can be more supportive of the Black women that are most neglected in the hospitals, period, point blank. They got the highest rate for mortality.
They got to deal with that trauma from what just happened to them in the hospital. Their birthing plan haywire because they weren't supported. And then it's like, I bring in this baby, my milk may not come in. I got to figure that out. It's so many different. The conversations definitely need to continue.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So
we're going to next
all right. So next thing. So I don't know if you guys saw that they have like a video of Lori Harvey and Luca. I don't know what his last name is, but they're out having lunch or whatever. And like people were just insinuating that they were dating just because they were sitting at a table having lunch. And then Lori Harvey responds to the post and she's like, we've been friends for a long time, just lunch.
Right.
So,
yeah. So
do you have the pictures of Lori Harvey walking with a guy?
Possibly. Hold on. So here's a clip of them at lunch. All right. So this is her comment, but this is them sitting at lunch. They're literally just innocently having lunch and people all up in their business.
Look how she looks at the staring into their soul over her glasses.
That's that mama look. Like if you don't get somewhere, sit down.
Right.
He
didn't even see it for a while. Smoking So with Lori Harvey, I feel like anytime she is seen with a man, it don't matter who it is, she got to be with him. Like they never give her a break. It can't possibly be her friend. When she was saying that, you know, he's been a part of their friend group for a while, whatever group of friends they have, like he's a part of the friend group. They weren't walking arm in arm, like they were just literally having lunch.
Lori Harvey is low-key like Thanos. Like she be collecting all the fine men. Okay. So it's not far-fetched to see her at lunch with some good-looking man and think that they date.
Like, but will she ever be able to go out with a man and just it be lunch? Will people always assume?
No.
her life when she get married.
No.
Hopefully when she get married, because she get
even then, Katrina.
And then she might go out with a friend and they be like, oh, she out here cheating on her husband. Like, dang, sis.
I mean, she kind of made she kind of made that name for herself though, low key.
Yep.
But I don't blame her. Listen, date. Like, I don't
right.
listen. I don't
right.
care.
I ain't mad at her. She's young. She's single. She's not married to anybody. She can date whoever she wants to.
Right.
But I just like, why is it all? Anytime she can go with anybody, I could be her cousin. It's gonna be
yeah, very
and
true.
I'm like, he didn't care. He kept smoking all them cigarettes, and they didn't have.
First of all, I'm not having lunch with somebody who just chain smoking cigarettes. Like, I can't do it.
In Paris, though, everybody smokes everywhere. Like it is ridiculous. Like it is annoying. But yeah. But I'm like, if she was hiding or was like dating someone, didn't want them to know, she wouldn't sit on the patio at the Avenue. Like, that's what the problem is. Like, you ain't gonna go there.
That's true.
Yeah, unless this is their coming out party. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that guy, didn't he date Kim Kardashian? Oh, not Kim. I'm sorry. Kourtney Kardashian. Like, they had
Huh? You said Chloe?
Yeah.
Kourtney.
No, not Chloe. Courtney.
Oh yeah, he did. But he was really young. He's way younger than her.
Mm-hmm. That's not surprising though.
Yes.
Kourtney is a cougar for sure.
They all been a cougar at some point. Okay, so
you know what, Lori? Yeah, Lori. I mean, like you said, she's like Thanos. Like I love that girl. Like, live your best life. She done been with all the hottest men. Like, all of them. Every man that's just famous, that's fine. She been with him. So it's like, girl, you with another fine man, like, he's next. He's your next victim. So that's probably what people was jumping to that conclusion. But anyways, Lori, live your best life, girl.
Not victim. I'm crying. Okay, so let's move on to the last topic in the buzz layer. You guys,
the DeRico divorce.
The DeRico family. So you guys, they were, what was the name of their show? Doubling Down DeRico. And I think they started following this family when she was like pregnant with like a large number, a couple of multiples. And they have 14 children. They've been married. They've been on TV for a very long time. And they recently announced their divorce or separation. I don't know if they're officially divorced. But the kicker is, y'all, this man, they got 14 children. He ordered to pay $1,116 for 14 children. What is that? Divide that by 14.
1,000 for 14 kids, man.
$160.
Man,
for 14 kids? Are you kidding? I would have walked out the courtroom. Why am I here? That's
why?
Bill. She can't get groceries with that.
Does that even pay? That's what I was about to say. Does that even pay for groceries for like 2 weeks? Like, let alone a month.
What about daycare? That's not like, what are we talking about?
Child. Well, speaking of daycare, allegedly, I heard the reason that they're getting a divorce is because he was having an affair with the male live-in nanny. So there's your daycare right there, honey. Allegedly.
Wow.
Allegedly. So he's gay? Allegedly.
That's what the streets
can't
say.
That. He had, he had an affair.
The streets been out here saying that's why they got the divorce.
Wow.
Listen.
But apparently they have 50-50 joint custody. So people are saying maybe that's why he only has to pay $760. But still, like, I don't know, with 50-50, I guess, you know, they're with each other half the time. So it's your responsibility to take care of the kids when they're with you. But we all know that the mom is usually the primary parent.
And like usually with 50-50, like they don't typically usually have to do child support. Like I think the reason why he's doing it is because he makes more. So if is that like the difference? Like is that what they're saying he can afford even though he makes more money than her? Because I think she's like a stay-at-home mom. I think he does have a job.
Yeah, maybe that does make up for the difference in their income. Maybe that was the justification for it. I guess that would make sense, especially since they're 50-50. Like you're responsible for the children while they're at your home half the time.
But that ain't nothing because I know people that got child support and it's like $20 a month. Like child support is a joke. Like
right. That's why sometimes it's just better to settle out of court. Like if they're willing to pay.
Or get a prenup at the beginning and put that in your prenup.
But in their case, they probably should have got a post-nup because when they got together, they didn't have nothing. So they probably should have went ahead and got a post-nup. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the gossip layer.
So we got an update on Miss Kenya Moore. So if you didn't, so on Friday we did a live, and if you didn't catch our live, Kenya Moore got suspended indefinitely from the Real Housewives because of what she posted about Britt Edie. So now, because of that, she's suing because there's a bunch of Bravo celebrities that did revenge porn or what would be considered revenge P-corn on their shows. So like, for example, they had this video of Joe and all the guys on New Jersey posting or watching the video of Danielle when she was doing her business.
Right.
Supposedly Tom Schwartz posted showed a picture. Tom Sandoval showed a picture of Ariana and she was
in a compromising position.
Right. And then I think there was like other instances too, and nothing has happened to them.
Summer House or something, right?
Probably, yeah.
Or Southern Charm, one of those shows.
No, Southern Charm. Yeah, Whitney, one of the executive producers, showed a fully nude pictures of one of the castmates, and they talked about it over and over and over on the show, and nothing happened. He's still the executive producer in that show, so it's kind of like, no, her actions weren't right, but like, what? It's a double standard. Like, why is she suspended and they aren't?
I completely understand.
Maybe
Kenya for go ahead and filing that discrimination suit because it's like that we've seen so much stuff on these shows,
right?
With people exposing people, saying things, doing things, showing things, and like I was watching something earlier, and they were saying even if she did expose her, the camera doesn't have to show it. You know,
right? And that's the same thing that they did with the other ones. Like they just don't show it.
Yeah, censor it, but treat her like everybody else. Don't treat her like, oh, this is a new thing that has never happened on this network, and that is despicable. And which it is, you know, it is nasty, and she shouldn't have done that. But if people haven't been reprimanded in this way in the past, like why start with her?
Right. I think part of it is because this season has been like so publicized that stuff is coming out before it actually happened. So they don't have a chance to filter and screen stuff. So I think that's why she's getting a harsher punishment than the other people.
What are you saying, Sierra?
I think it's a difference in what Kenya did rather than people showing it like on their phone. I feel like because she literally did like big ass slideshows to a crowd of people that was caught on also camera. I think that's a little different than it secretly being shown on phones. They were wrong for doing that, but when you're doing like blown up pictures for the world to see, I don't know. I think that's what divided the difference. But I get what Kenya's saying because it's like people been outing people, but Kenya, you did the most, girl.
Yeah,
no, Kenya's petty.
On Southern Charm, they did show the phone with the girl's picture. They just blurred it, which I think which would be the same thing they would do for Kenya if they actually showed the part where she does it. They would just blur it out.
But Sierra, you do make a point because I forgot people were saying that bloggers were present at the event because it was an event to promote her business. Yeah. So you have people there who will take that footage and expose it. I'm pretty sure they had to sign something to be there to not talk about it until the show airs. But they still got the footage. Somebody leaked the freaking audio. So
yeah.
So that is true.
I just feel like do the same thing for everybody.
Right. It should be fair.
Like even with Danielle, like no, they didn't show it, but like I'm sure people saw that they were watching it and looked it up. Like just like with Britt Edie, if there is really like a picture of her in that state, like all you have to do is look it up. If Kenya can find it, I'm sure we can.
That's what somebody said today too. Like I was already public information. It was already on the internet. So it's not like she brought something new to the world and like found it and exposed her. Like it was already out there in the interwebs.
Right.
So
and it's not new. Like it's old. Right. Like I don't even know her from selling insurance. I know her from being Rick Ross's girlfriend after Lyra. And they was like doing like risque stuff. So it's like, I don't know.
Child, we gonna have to see. I don't know how the show gonna go on because like we said last week, I feel like, or we said that on the live, I feel like Portia needs somebody to bounce off of. So Kenya's gone. They just started filming. Like, what we gonna do?
She gonna have to talk to Drew because I don't think she friends with the new girls like that or Cynthia.
And I heard a rumor that Drew was getting fired. So I don't know what's going on with.
Well, what's with that?
I was watching something this morning, my daily dose of gossip, and they were saying that Drew possibly was getting fired. So I don't know what is going on with this show. I don't know if they need to hang it up.
Who
or what?
Who's getting fired?
Drew Sidora.
Allegedly. I don't even know if it's a credible source, but I heard it. And I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Child. Especially like, I don't know, because Drew and Portia, I think they're friends or they're cool, but
yeah, she definitely is a go naked hair rep,
right? But Drew don't really bring it. I mean, like I feel like with Portia, she need to have chemistry with people in order for it to like, whether it's good or bad. Like Drew don't really bring the heat like that, but we'll see. Hopefully, she put a little pep in her step and we can get a good show. Because, child, I don't know, I'm a little nervous for them. But let's move on to the next topic. Now, you guys, we have a couple of corrections from last week's episode. So, if you guys watched last week, Katrina and I were talking about the text message thread between Teresa and a blogger discussing some things, and we were a little confused on who was who in the conversation because they talked about a name. They used the name Gabriella. So when I hear Gabriella, I think of Teresa's daughter. So I was like, that couldn't be Teresa in the light gray because why would she tell her daughter to go talk to the blogger?
Right.
However, Sierra informed us that's why we need her. This is
we watched another video, and the video said that it was the blogger's name is Gabriella.
I found out through Sierra. I didn't watch that video. I found out because Sierra told me that the Gabriella was the blogger, and so
they had a video out. I saw it because they had a video out where they were saying that they were talking about the blogger, and the blogger's name is actually Gabriella.
Right.
Yeah.
So Teresa was in the light gray, allegedly, in those text messages.
Because I was doing my research, and I remember we were talking about it. Because when I first heard about it, I was like, Gabriella. I'm like, there's no way Gabriella, Teresa's daughter, would be talking like this because she never. Yeah, she's never like involved.
Yeah, Gabriella is a sensible
one. Right. So she's more quiet and she's younger. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I kept digging. So there's a Twitter page called Melissa's Old Nose. And it was a tree stump fan page for a Teresa fan page. And Teresa was like very close friends with her. And I think she was doing a podcast with her. The Namaste Bitches.
Oh, no, that's somebody else. That's Melissa something.
Melissa's Old Nose.
No, the girl who she was doing the Namaste podcast with, her name is Melissa. It's Melissa something. I saw something.
Okay. Her name is Melissa. Yeah.
Yeah. Today I saw that they ain't even doing that
confused.
podcast no more.
Yeah, so
they fell out.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to clear that up because we don't want to be giving no false information over here. So we just wanted to go ahead and clear that up. Also, we got another correction, y'all. I mean, we didn't really say, but we
didn't call her old. We insinuated. But
so last week when we talked about Ebony K. Williams and her pregnancy, we assumed that she was a little older than she was. She's actually only 40. And we thought that she was a little, having a baby a little later in life, which I guess 40 could be considered later in life, but 40 is a new third child, and that ain't
right.
So many women
are a little elderly, so we got a little confused.
Yeah, she does look a little older. I thought she was about 46, 47.
Yes.
So she is 40. She will be 41 this year, I believe. And so we just want to go ahead and clear that up and correct that because that was our bad. However, we are still happy that she is, able to have her child and, do all the things.
Yes. Okay, so this week I saw an unseen clip from Married to Medicine, Love and Marriage Huntsville, where Melanie was doing the showcase with
a live podcast with Carlos King.
Yes. And Sunny. So if you watch the show, Sunny was on there and they were that was when they first revealed her and like Moses, and they talked about the relationship. So on this unseen clip, Sunny is going in on like basically she's trying to pump up Moses and make it seem like Destiny was a side chick. So I got the video right here.
Okay.
Because he just got divorced in 2019. So when were you the main chick? Oh, don't play with me. Don't come for me. So when were you the main chick? Because even when I started dating Moses, he had several women he was already dating. You wasn't even a factor at that point. It was a whole nother chick thinking she was the main girl. So baby, please.
I agree with Mel. Because you making yourself look stupider.
Terrible. Like, girl, you are literally bragging on the fact that your man is a serial cheater.
Right. And then you bragging on the fact you trying to call Destiny the side chick, but you was the side chick when y'all started dating because you just said somebody else was his main chick. Like, girl.
Like, he cheated on his wife. He had several women when he met you. You think all those women magically went away? No.
Now, that ring is not a prize. It's a shackle, honey.
Yes. And first of all, he looked a little embarrassed because he's like, why are you telling all my business?
Right.
But I mean,
I never understood. I mean, I get it when you feel like you're on your high horse and you feel like, oh, I got him. But I would always be nervous, like, if you cheated on your woman to be with me, first of all, you're not a girls. And I get it that, like, that relationship has nothing to do with me, right? But, like, at the end of the day, like, I have no loyalty to that woman. But at the end of the day, I would look at him sideways like, you've been cheating like crazy. And you, like...
And how you get him is how you gonna lose them.
How you get them is how you lose them. For real, 100%. So, I mean,
and magically become monogamous. Like, you think all
exactly
these just disappear? You think he had made a phone call and said, hey, yeah, I'm getting engaged now. And they stopped calling and contacting him, or he stopped calling and contacting them. And she's putting up her ring like it magically changes everything. And like, that is dumb.
And then she said that they started talking in July and let Destiny tell it. She was talking to him until August. So he was still cheating even when they first got together.
Like, and she said, Sierra said she's sitting on her high horse talking all this talk. But man, if he had all these other women, why do you think that Destiny is lying about still being with him in August? Because she's like, no, y'all broke up. Like, how do you know?
She ain't lying.
He is
This
a liar.
is the first time I believe that's
and he admitted to sending.
She's got to feel better about herself.
When they sat at that table, he admitted that he was sending her money. He was like, "That don't mean we was together." But do Sonny know you was sending her money?
No,
acting like y'all was still in a relationship. You sending another woman money and you with me? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nasty work.
It's
nasty work. Very much.
It is so embarrassing to sit up on national television and brag on a man cheating on another woman like that. Like, girl,
and cheating on you.
Like, do you hear? She thought she was preaching, honey, because she like girl,
all the facts. Like,
she thought she was eating that up, girl. No, we are all looking at you.
Right.
God bless.
Right.
God bless.
All right, y'all. So let's get into these reviews. So this week we're gonna do New Jersey first. So because it was a lot going on this week. They made up for last week, in my opinion. I'm just gonna say.
I agree. Because we got it going first scene.
Right. So first thing was Dolores and her mama having a conversation and her trying to convince her mom how great her relationship is with Paulie and why they should go into business together.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see her mom and her daughter kind of like girl, come on.
Looking at her.
I felt judgment coming from their eyes, like, girl, you are smarter than this. Like, what? Right. Why would you? And then she was like, yeah, he thinks commitment is going into business with each other. And, she's unsure about it, but she's like, I think I don't know. I think I'm going to do it. And they're like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like,
Dolores is stigmatized right now. And I just want her to snap out of it. Like, it's too much.
It's so confusing with Dolores because she's so easygoing and she's just so like go with the flow. But I just feel like she's too go with the flow, where it's like she comes across as this like strong-minded woman, like got a strong head on her shoulders, but she keeps ending up with these men that are not available for her. And now she's with this man again that's like not ready to marry her, but wants to have business with her. No, you're still married.
Yeah.
And our business could be your wife's business. So absolutely not. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Dolores is like that, everybody else. She like wants to battle for everybody else, but she don't fight for what she deserves. Like anybody that come against anybody that's her friend, she willing to go to bat for them. When it comes for her, she just accepts whatever she gets. And that's sad.
I was going to say too, I think it's a lot of women who can do that. They can stand on business with every other area of their life. But when it comes to a man, like that's the soft spot, because it's like, that is the thing that she is longing for. And she said to her daughter, she was like, I've had a ring before. I've been married before. Like, I don't necessarily need that. But that's what you talked about that you wanted. But now that he's shying away from it, you're diminishing what you really desire, because it seems as though that's not what he wants.
Right. She's trying to convince herself that that's not what she wants, so she can justify being with him, even though he's showing her that that's really not what he wants.
I think with what all that's happening and her family's reaction, hopefully she can kind of like snap out of it, because I really think it's going to be really bad if she goes into business with this man. Especially hearing all the other alleged that's going on with him. Like, you do not want to go into business with. And her mom was like, "Oh, he's into electrician." Like, she's confused.
What did they don't even know him?
Right.
I think businesses ruin marriages. So imagine what it'll do to like a relationship that's not like in a settled place. Like, they're not right now with all this back and forth. They're not even in a real good place. So like, to add a business onto that, I don't know if that would help their relationship with surviving.
No, I think it's detrimental, because there's other parties involved. Like, you are literally legally binded to this other woman. Right. Whatever is yours can be hers, so, including your business with your girlfriend. So I would stay clear of that if I was her. Okay, so the big thing of this episode was the housewarming party. And we left off with the clip, we kind of talked about the clip from the last week that's what's going to happen this week of Dolores bringing in the bottle and all those things. So let's get into the housewarming party.
Did Dolores really not know to not bring the bottle, or you think she's just like, la la la, let me just go take it?
I feel like Dolores, like, you know how neutral she plays, and she listened to her best friend, and she was like, you want me to bring this to your brother's house? Okay, I'll bring it. I don't think she really knew that she might have told Dolores, she didn't know it. She probably did tell Dolores, Teresa probably told Dolores, like, I tried to give it to Rachel and John Fugazi, and they declined it, and I want you to bring this to my brother's house. And Dolores was probably like, okay, like, what you want me to do about it? Like, I'm not going to tell you no. Like, what is Dolores supposed to do with that situation? So Dolores was like, here, I brought it. I'm not in the middle of none of this. I don't care about none of that. I brought the blue label, and you can do what you want with it. So, but I don't know.
The way it was set up was so funny because they're literally having the conversation in the kitchen. She's like, thank you so much for bringing that. I don't want that energy in my house. Here's Dolores walking out. Oh, it's so
beautiful. Right. And they kept playing the blue label bottle to a Chucky doll. Like Rachel was looking at it like it was Chucky.
Right.
I saw that. Things escalated quickly once the bottle was brought in because everyone was informed about it. And you know, Melissa came out. Now, I do think that Melissa did the right thing as a wife just to kind of protect him. Like, listen, it's here, but it doesn't have to be a big deal. Here's the card if you want it. Because she could have just got rid of the bottle and was like, I'm not going to even bring it to him. But she gave him the opportunity to do with it what he wanted to. So I think that was good on Melissa's part because now it's up to you. If you want the letter from your sister, you can have a letter. You know, but we're going to put this bottle with the other bottles and you won't even know which one is hers.
Right.
Exactly. Well, I think another thing that stung a little bit maybe is because Blue Label was their dad's choice of drink.
Right.
So, and that could have been his choice of drink as well. But I don't know. And when you're fighting with your siblings, it's like you be ready to over dissect things when really it may not even be that. I do feel like Joe kind of put on a show. I feel like he was being like a little too dramatic, in my opinion, like burning the card in front of everybody, making an announcement. Like, I don't know. I felt that was kind of sad because it wasn't like they gave like an evil gift. It was literally like here, and it wasn't even an olive branch. In my opinion, it was just like out of respect. I don't know. If my brother did that and I saw that on national television, and if I sent a gift being nice, even though we're not talking, I'd be like, you know what? I know she did. Louis did.
Right.
But Louis and Teresa are united front, clearly. So Louis,
it ain't clearly on this thing because she said that it's not from me, it's from Louis. She made it very clear.
After the fact, she didn't say it in the beginning. She's the one. Louis didn't say it. Teresa told Rachel, like, give this to my brother, and she was following what her husband was saying. It was not until after the fact, probably, and I would have said the same. Well, I didn't want to give the gift anyway. That one from me. Probably her feelings was probably a little hurt. Like, that was her defense.
That was her defense mechanism, saying I didn't get Louis. Louis did that, but she did originally say, you know, I heard my brother's having a housewarming. Can you give this to him from us for, housewarming, whatever. But I do feel like, I don't know, it's weird because with their dynamic, in any other scenario, I would have felt like it was an olive branch, especially because it's like, this is your new home. This is what daddy drank. Like, this is our little bonding thing, whatever. I feel like in any other scenario, it could have been an olive branch. But with Teresa, child, with Louis, I don't know. Like, because I feel like y'all know how y'all basically said y'all was dead to each other.
Right. So why you just randomly gonna give them this bottle and you just saw them a week ago and didn't even speak to them?
What? I am trying to understand where this Louis hate train came from. I really don't get it. Like, all I've seen is Louis trying to be amicable and trying his hardest, and I just don't understand. Yes, he's done some stuff what is very questionable, but like, it's like I feel like no matter what Louis does, because he's married to Teresa, everybody's gonna be like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
That it has anything to do with Teresa.
Yeah, for me, it's not because he's married to Teresa. For me, it's because the things that he has done on the show. Because when he first came on the show, I'm like, oh, he might be good for her, whatever. But it seems as though how he moves, he's very sneaky. He appears.
How?
It's for the camera for sure.
Yeah, he appears to be one way, and then he does all these underhand things in the background. And then when they come there, he's exposed. He's like,
right.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I can go on and on for days about this because I've been watching this since day one. I'm so not you saying right. I'm just so confused.
I'm kidding. I watched it from day one too.
I'm just from what I've seen, I'm just so confused. Okay, maybe he's done some stuff, but I feel like what he's doing is sticking up for his wife and he's rallying for his wife. But people are like, oh, he's so shady. And it's like, everybody's shady. So like, what do you guys expect for Louis to do? He's supposed to go against his wife too? Like, or is he supposed to ride for his wife? I don't know.
We're talking about thinning the bottle. I feel like they should have left that alone. I feel
like I get it. I feel like Louis though has a track record of trying his best to like get them to talk. That's my opinion.
But I don't think that's what that was about. I think the bottle was about trying to make them look good. Like it had nothing to do with no olive branch, nothing like that. Like they didn't have to. If they really wanted them to get the bottle and it was so important, they could have mailed it to them.
They just delivered it. Yeah.
And right. Why do that in a meetup with the Fudas for your brother? Like,
y'all not even good. You're not even good with the Fudas. Why would you even assume that they're even going to accept it from you? Because if I was Rachel, I would be like, deliver it yourself.
Right. If it would have came off, it would have came off for me more genuine if Paulie and him would have met up or Dolores and him before, like for drinks or whatever. And they're like, hey, we wanted to get it to my brother. Take this to him. Because at least it's like a common ground. Like, I don't think that they genuinely went into the meeting with the Fudas thinking it was going to end well. So why bring this gift that you think that they're going to deliver to Melissa? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Okay. I can see that perspective. I can. I was looking at it on a perspective of like, if I was meeting with a close friend of my brother and his wife, I don't know if I would do that, but maybe I would have. You're right, to prove a point, because I'm petty. Maybe that's why I'm petty. So it was very petty. Yeah, it was. Okay, I get that. All right. Everybody, calm down. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So they start looking at the house, everybody's looking around, things like that. Danielle threw her little shade, talk about I actually like the house. I didn't think I was gonna like it, She's like, oh yeah, the kitchen is 10 steps from the living room. Is that shade?
No, please.
Right. It ain't nothing little about Melissa's house. Like, calm down. Your house could fit inside of Melissa's house. Like, let's be for real.
And that goes to show that the fame has gotten a little bit too much to Danielle's head. And that's just the facts. There's no other way around it. She was a little bit more humble and excited. You can tell when she first started. Now, I don't know. I'm seeing a different, cockier side to Danielle. Do you feel the same?
Did y'all know that she was on another reality show before The Real Housewives?
MTV. It was MTV.
I know. I can't figure out what show it was. Was it like True Life or something like that?
No. It was The House. What's the house show where you can view the house and
what? Cribs.
Cribs. It was on Cribs. Yeah, she was on Cribs. Yes.
What crib was she in?
I don't know, but that goes to show she been trying to be famous.
Okay, that makes sense.
And she said that though in her first season, she always dreamed of being a star. Okay, so let's get into excuse my daughter in the background.
Hi, Livy.
we're like we said, we're moms first, anyways. So let's get into the conversation with Jackie and with the whole situation with Jackie and Dolores and how Margaret had her receipts per usual and added it out. I really felt that I was.
Let's talk about. Wait, first let's talk about what led to Margaret exposing her. So let's talk about the conversation between Marge and Jackie when Jackie stumbles outside, like she's already intoxicated. So her and Margaret go outside and they decide to go at it and try to hash out their situation or whatever. Right. So they get into it or whatever. I don't remember the whole scene. Y'all could chime in if y'all remember exactly what happened. But this leads into Jackie drunkenly trying to hug on Joe Benigno, whatever his last name is. Right. And Margaret getting pissed, coming up to Joe. Right. Talking about, get off my husband. Don't be hugging her. And then Jackie tries to go over to Dolores, talking about, oh my gosh, do you see how she is? She's just so evil and da-da-da-da. And then Margaret, listen, let me tell you how savage Margaret is. Margaret starts, she's like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. And she looks through her phone and starts texting Dolores the combo of Jackie talking crap about her from the baseball game when she didn't tag her in a photo. And here you go. Look at your phone. Right. Look at your phone. I got a picture. Look at the picture. It's very, very good.
Joe had me cracking up. I said, you better ride for your wife.
Right. Okay, here's the picture. Yeah. So this is Joe, and Dolores puts on her glasses, her readers, so she can see what the T is, because
I'm looking at something's going on with my dog. Girl.
Listen.
I don't know why that scene was so funny to me, because Joe, he's so little. And he's so,
right. Margaret in the back. Tell her to look at her phone, Joe. Tell her to look at her phone.
You guys didn't talk about what transpired before that. So that was when Jackie came in and she fell, which there was a lot of allegations.
Stumping outside drunkenly.
She fell on purpose. I don't know if that's true or not. But she fell. She caused the scene. Yeah, she caused the scene. She fell, and then she went out there. And then I think, but what transpired with that? I think she was out there talking, and then it was Dolores who's the one that said that Jackie was upset about, what was she upset about? She was something.
It was the dinner before that they had, where it was the little meetup, and Jackie was trying to confront Melissa. Or something.
Yeah, and then Margaret was like, oh, she's such an asshole. Well, see, now this is why Margaret is messy. And this is why I don't think she's a loyal friend. She talked about loyalty, but it's that she just goes to show. Now, if you go against her, all bets are off. And she been holding receipts against you, because why does she have screenshots? She was holding up for an arsenal.
No. She did not have screenshots. She scrolled through the text thread and took a screenshot and sent it to Dolores.
Listen, I don't want a friend like that, because I'm scared of you now.
Margaret has proved time and time again that she holds her receipts.
Right.
She got her own debt.
Listen, if I'm on a reality TV show, I'm keeping my receipts, because y'all gonna try to come for me, and I'm gonna be like, no. On this day at this time, you said this. It's right here. I got it on my phone pilot. Don't play.
Now that is true. Now that's how I roll. Now listen, when I was watching it, I was like, you know what? You guys know I'm not a Marge fan, but I said, okay, Marge was not playing, because what I'll do if anybody said, oh well, so and so told me, I will quickly go get them on three-way.
Right.
Call them right now. We all on three-way.
I like Dolores because Jackie tried to be like, oh, look at how bad she is. She doesn't put anything in writing. And Dolores is like, because she's a smart bitch.
She's smart one. She's like, she's smart, isn't she? Yeah, I was like, okay, Dolores. And then she was like, as far as they're talking about Polly, I'll talk to her about that. But she seemed like she's smart. And that's true. You can be putting stuff in writing if you want to be clean. Don't write it.
Right. Calling her and saying that you hate her, like, girl.
Right, calling her a slob. Don't call me a slob and then smile on my face and say, oh, that's so mean. Jackie, I know you want to be on the show, and it's very calculated. And I was kind of on your side because you're sticking up for yourself, but it is giving a little you're thirsty to be back on the show.
She's so thirsty to be on the show. She's willing to put her cross down and be friends with Teresa and just bear through it, child. She can't even.
And then she's gonna try to go to Melissa at the brunch talking about you were really trying to pull out and try to make me go at Teresa. And she's like, all I was trying to do is because they were talking about how Jackie put in her book that whatever beef her and Teresa had made her relapse. And Melissa's like, I wasn't trying to pull anything out. You wrote it in a freaking book. Like, here you are talking about you guys are cool, but you writing a book that she does this to you. Like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, but wait. I kind of get, now, listen, I'm not saying I'm on Jackie's side. I'm not even on Melissa's side, but I kind of get what she's saying.
Because not on Melissa.
Shut up. I don't like Melissa. Listen, I don't like her. Well, no, but hear me out. If you're my friend and if I'm saying like, I'm trying for things to be cool, and then my friend chimes in, I'll never let you forget what she did to you. It's like, you're adding fuel to the fire, like, be quiet. Now you're being messy. And I didn't need your 2 cents in that. You just need to be quiet. And Melissa does that. I don't know. You don't see that she has a track record of doing that kind of stuff. So I kind of get Jackie's frustration with that, but I think that's a real friend.
I think that's a real friend because my friends know if you tell me some shit that somebody did to you, I ain't never letting it go.
But you're not about to make me listen, you're not about to make me look stupid in front of a group of girls when I'm trying to make a point.
I wouldn't do it in front of you, but I'm gonna be like, me and her will never be.
Pull me to the side. Now, don't do that in front of everybody. I don't appreciate that. Now, I don't like you. Now I'm irritated because what you doing in front of everybody for? You supposed to have my back. What happened? What happened?
But Melissa was low key coming for Jackie. I mean, Jackie was low key coming for Melissa at the.
No, you said it right the first time.
No, I didn't. I've been drinking the champagne. I done got a little mixed up.
Out of curiosity, how did you guys feel about the conversation between Jen, Aiden, and Danielle?
So I like what Danielle said. Danielle said the same thing that we all been saying. If you got a problem with me, tell me right then. Yeah, don't be holding it and being pissed off. Talk to me then. Like the minute that you upset, tell me. Right. And I think it's petty that Jen is coming for her because she didn't put Aiden plastic surgery on a step and repeat. Like, girl.
No, I thought that was pretty weird that Jen was like, well, you could have added
like, this is all about a step and repeat.
I was on Jen's side for the most part, like, be humble, like all of that. And I was like, now why you throw your husband's business at that? Go, why? That didn't make any sense.
That's the real issue.
Usually people's name are on the step and repeat who sponsored the event in some type of way. Now, if she sponsored or paid sponsorship, then yeah, your name would be up there. But no.
Yeah, no.
But she should have just stuck to the whole be humble part of it. Like, I understood on that one. I didn't really like the way Danielle came across. Like, well, who is she? It's like, well, who is she? Then why did you do your hair for free? Why did you go to her and ask for your hair to get done?
That was weird from the girl.
Right. It's like, well, Danielle, like, stop. Like, and your charity event wouldn't have been so good if it wasn't for Dolores, Jen, and Teresa. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, nobody came to see you, and that's just the truth. And she admitted that. I don't know if you saw her post that she did today, admitting that, and now she's blaming it that it was a security issue. It wasn't no security issue.
Girl, which was it? Because you already claimed
it. Girl, you just were feeling people on your big one. Yeah.
It was some people from her hometown that keep randomly showing up on the show, I might add, that was talking about the reason why she talking about security is because she don't want to be around people that don't like her or whatever. That's why she was talking about she needed a separation, but nobody's checking for her. Where she came from, nobody. She wasn't even like a popular girl. Like,
wasn't that girl.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel this way because I feel like Danielle is letting us only a smidgen into her life. There's a darker side to Danielle. I feel like that we haven't experienced that because she hasn't even opened up to us fully about her full family dynamic, because you can tell when Melissa talks to her about the Teresa and Joe situation, she almost feels guilty. So I'm curious to see.
I saw this thing today.
Well, if they bring her back.
I saw this thing today and it made me feel like her beef with her brother is very stupid because they really are not. She really has not went to her brother's wedding, has not seen her nephew because he laughed at you for making a TikTok dance.
It's deeper than that. That's not true. It's gotta be deeper. That's bizarre.
It's gotta be deeper.
No, but I'm saying that's her reasoning. So if that's what she thinks, like, come on, girl, you gotta let it. You could.
She stopped talking to her dad because he's stood on her
He
brother's
said
side.
that he agreed with her brother for not accepting her gift. That's why she said she wasn't talking to her daddy no more.
Bizarre.
She's a petty bitch. Like,
Yeah,
we
she
just know
is. Yeah, because at some point you gotta like be willing to like come to the table. Like, girl, this stuff is because if either of them were to leave this world tomorrow, you would be devastated and you wouldn't be able to. It would be hard for you to go on because you never had those conversations.
Right.
Don't hold petty grudges. It's so ridiculous. Okay, so are we ready to move on?
We are married. Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yeah, so let's move on to Love and Marriage Huntsville. So the previous week we ended with Nell's party, and we picked up this week, continuing the conversation at Nell's party with the ladies. They're all sitting down chatting. We know Tisha was lit at the party, and she just let whatever was on her mind come out. So the ladies decided to let Tisha and Nell sit down and have a conversation. And it all boiled down to Tisha being upset because I guess on Instagram, someone like came for their relationship and was like, "Why do you hang out with Tisha?" Da 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 da. And Nell goes, "I mentor her."
Now, I think Tisha called Nell a mentor.
No.
Okay.
It was a fan. It was a fan that came and said, why are you friends with Tisha? Da, 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 da. And Nell goes, I'm her mentor. And so Tisha got upset because she's like, I thought we were friends. I thought we were building a relationship. Like, why are you telling people that you're just my mentor? And she was like, well, you just said tonight that I mentor you guys. She was like, it was a joke. And so I kind of understand where Tisha is coming from because yes, you're older than us, but it kind of diminishes our friendship, especially when somebody is saying like, why are you friends with her? Like,
right.
Basically,
you should be like, because I want to be her friend, not I mentor her.
That's what she was saying. I felt like you didn't defend our relationship. And Nell was like, well, I felt like I did defend our relationship by saying that I mentor you. She's like, I am a mentor to you. And she's like, yeah, but to me, I thought we were building more than that because it's kind of like, oh, she's a young girl who needs all this guidance and I'm just helping her. Like, she ain't really
like a charity case.
Yeah, so that's how it came off. And so I understand where Tisha was coming from with that because it's like, girl, we hang out. Like, we're peers at this point because we're all on this show together.
I ain't never seen her mentor her the whole time they've been on the show. It's always been friendly vibes. So I don't know what she mentoring her on, especially since Nell got a daycare and Tisha trying to do real estate. Girl, what are you teaching her? I don't get it.
I think Nell and Chris more so mentored Melody and Martell when they were married.
Yeah, I think
like their marriage.
Yeah,
they were like their relationship mentors. So I think in that sense, like, yeah, but with Tisha, we never even seen them hang out that much, to be honest.
Yeah, and then honestly, like, how good of a mentor was she to Martell? To Martell and Mel, because first of all, they're divorced, and second of all, her and Fletcher's relationship is not that great either. Like, wasn't Fletcher cheating on her, and they were separated for how many years? Like,
we didn't hear about that until this season, I think, or the end of last season.
Yeah, so like, girl, how can you give me relationship advice? You struggling on your own, like.
Yeah, I feel like the way they presented them on the show, like they were this Christian couple who are here to kind of help guide these younger couples. And, they've been married for so long, da da da. Child, all their tea is coming out now, I guess, because they're one of the main characters on the show. It's like, you got to bring some meat and potatoes. And so I feel like they're kind of airing their dirty laundry now so they can kind of make their claim on the show. But given all that, do we think that Tisha's behavior was justified with her feeling this type of way over a mentorship?
I think that Tisha definitely should have had a separate conversation. Like, it wasn't appropriate at the birthday party. I feel like her feelings are valid, but she should have picked another time. It's a time and place for everything. Like, girl, you could have had the conversation before that. Because didn't they film with each other before the birthday party?
Right. And I think that's why Nell was kind of caught off guard because she's like, girl, you got a problem with me? Like, what is going on?
Was the announcement in front of like a bunch of other people? Because I didn't watch this episode, so I'm kind of out of the loop. Was it in front of a bunch of people or?
Yeah.
It was at the club at her birthday party.
Right.
Oh yeah.
All the ladies
I don't
are
know
sitting.
why when you're friends with somebody, this goes. We just talked about this. I don't understand. Like, if you're gonna be friends with me, this is like any. I feel like all relationships, friendships, marriages, whatever. Like, if we're gonna be close, don't you dare announce anything that you have something with me in front of people, because I think that's like you're opening up a window of other opinions to be involved with something that you and I have going on. And I really don't appreciate that. And that speaks volumes on you and you as an individual and as a person. Like, I don't know. I've never felt comfortable with like calling out an issue in front of a group of people, because that's giving me, I need attention. Like, what are we doing this for?
Yeah, I'm not doing that for my friends, my man, nobody.
Right.
Like,
it's not
even
worth
if
it.
the man is saying something stupid, I'm gonna stick beside him until we get in the car, and then in the car, I'm gonna listen.
That part.
Stuff you were saying.
Right.
Exactly. Okay, so what about the conversation between Marcel and Stormy and her husband? So they're standing there talking about, last week we kind of talked about how Stormy invited the Scotts to their party.
And it was weird.
Yeah. Some type of romance party for it to promote Stormy's new products.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it was called like Heartbreak or Heart Love Struck or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Hi, Livy. Sorry.
Hi.
Sorry, baby. Squirrel.
Sorry. She was climbing out of her high chair, so I had to go get her. I'm sorry.
I had to say hi because she just was in the camera like, hey, y'all. Okay.
So yeah, the conversation between Marcel and Stormy, it got a little weird because I felt like Marcel was trying to defend her, but he also was like kind of siding with them a little bit. And so I don't know how I feel about that conversation with them, and Stormy and her husband kind of like just diminishing everything, like nothing happened, like it's an olive branch, like what's the big deal? I don't know what their motive is with getting them to this party, but it seems like they're playing like nice nasty.
Yeah, they definitely are. Like you said last week, like if we ain't even talked the situation out or talked about the situation, right, like why would you think that we would come? Like this is the first time in history that I agree with something that Marceau says, but like I feel him when he's like, why would you think that we would come to your party and we ain't even talk to you? The last time we was together, it was terrible. Like,
right. Yeah, I don't understand it. And they're always throwing jabs and gaslighting. Like they're, let me say this, Stormy and her husband, they are a dynamic duo. Because one thing they're gonna do is stick beside each other. They're gonna speak the same language, right, and they're gonna be a united front. I love that about them. But they are like really egging this thing on and making it seem like, what's the big deal? Like it's an olive branch. Like what's the problem? And he's like, Stormy don't have a problem with her. Every time Stormy get around her, she is coming at her or calling her husband out of his name. Like she clearly has a problem with y'all. No matter how she says she don't have a problem, she has a problem.
And the last time that them and Marceau really talked, Marceau said, I don't fool with y'all. I will never I will never fool with y'all like that. You keep calling me a B. Oh, I won't have nothing to do with you.
Why would he? Like she doesn't have any respect for him. So why would he have, want to be around her or at their event? I would feel like it's a setup because we haven't talked. Why are you magically wanting me to come so bad? Like that y'all are still sitting here trying to be nice to me when I'm questioning. He was just like, I'm not upset. I'm just confused. Like I would have been confused too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time in history, I agree with Marcel.
Right. Crazy. So we also have Martell and meeting up with Trisha.
Yeah.
Who work out for the event. Now, last week we talked about their energy being weird. We still don't know why Martell acted like he did not know her.
Still very weird.
Still giving weird. And I think he kind of said, she asked him why he acted like he didn't know her. I forget what he said though.
I don't remember what he said either. Martell is a joke. Yeah. Like first of all, he gonna say he don't usually work out with women. Like, sir, you need to work out with someone. Like, he talking about you ain't
gonna talk about your body. Look at her body and look at her man body. Like, I think you might want to take some tips from her. But I don't know. I'm still curious about why he acting like he don't know her. Like this is just
they smashed.
Their energy around each other is just strange.
Yeah. I feel like I saw on the preview from the beginning that it does come out that they were like intimate.
Okay. That it will make a whole lot of sense. So I'll be interested to see when that comes out and how that comes out, how her man deal with that, because it's like, girl, why you lying to your man about it if it was in the past?
I don't know if she's lying to him though. I feel like they're very honest with each other. So I think maybe he knows and they just not talking about it until it actually comes out. Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
But then the convo when they was working out was weird either, because why you so pressed about her marital status? Like, why is that your business? Like, you got enough stuff on your plate. Like, how you gonna not go to jail from this case with Mel? How you gonna stop squatting in people's houses and buy you your own house? Because, like, I'm confused. He had all this money when he was with Mel. Like, where did it go? Like, clearly it's giving Mel was the breadwinner and you were a mooch. Like,
well, we know that the only way he was getting contracts was with her because she had the license. So he's not able to work. He had money because he was able to work because she held the license for their business.
But then he keep burning bridges with other people because after they divorced, he was working with other people that had licenses, and then he kept falling out with them.
Yep.
Like, bro, you like right now, technically you unemployed. Yeah. All you got to do is study to get this license. Like, what's tea?
Right.
I think he might have some type of learning disability.
Oh, not a learning disability.
I'm not doing an allegation or anything like that, but I feel like a lot of times people shy away from certain things because they can't.
But don't they give like, you know, like when you have like when you're in college or whatever and you have a disability like ADHD or something like that, don't they give you more time for the test? Like I think if he actually went and got diagnosed, they would give him more time, which would help him to pass the test. Because
but sometimes just because you have more time doesn't mean that you can execute. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel
like I'm sure
sorry, this is hilarious. Has this person been diagnosed?
No, we just think he's a little slow.
No, I'm actually being serious because here's my
thing. I know you are, and that's what I don't mean to think it's funny, but it's like you guys are but it could be true. But I'm just like, if I were a person watching this.
Listen, we are
like, we don't watch the show. So here's the thing. This is why I'm bringing it up.
Okay, tell me.
They had a multi-million-dollar business, right?
Tell me.
So the only reason why I bring this up is because if you have a multi-million-dollar business and you cannot hold a license, don't you think that you would have tried?
He did try. He failed like a few times.
That's what I'm saying. And so for someone to fail a test like this that many times, there's something happening there. It's not just a lack of studying. It's not just, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying it could possibly be that he has some type of disability that's not allowing him to pass the test, especially because this is his livelihood at this point. This is how he fed his children, and he still doesn't hold a license. That leads me to believe that he possibly have continued to try and failed. Which
so I'm gonna say this because for cosmetology, like you know how like people work for years in cosmetology and they never get their license. Like the reason why people work in cosmetology but are not licensed or can't get a license is because they work in the field and they learn bad habits. So then they learn these bad habits, and when they go to take the test, that's not how it's supposed to be done. So they can't pass it because they don't either remember or know the correct way of doing it.
Right.
So because he's been working in the field for so long and not licensed, that could be why he can't pass the test, because he's got those bad practices. Yeah.
It just makes me wonder, because I'm just like, you know, you have been in this business for so long and, you know, you're still trying to figure out how to pass. So it just makes me feel like there's got to be something else deeper, something else going on. I'm not trying to diagnose the man. I'm just saying, in watching the show and knowing the history and seeing, you know, how they built this multi-million-dollar business, it's like, I would be taking that freaking test every week.
Yeah, it could be either bad habits, or maybe he might have a disability and he needs like some sort of accommodation. Who knows?
Right. I don't know.
I was at work today and they was talking about middle schoolers that can't read. Like That's crazy to me. He could be a grown adult. Maybe he ain't reading it right. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, if you got and sometimes it's like if you have dyslexia, it could be anything. I'm not saying like it's something super extreme. I'm just saying like I don't know. I'm inquiring. I'm like curious as to why, you know, especially when it's like he's built all these relationships. It's not like it's not money on the table.
Right.
It's probably people that want to work with him. He just can't work.
Yeah, because even with Inez, like, is he promoting that? Like, I know they be on the show drinking it, but like, is it in a store? Like, I don't know if his follow through is there. Like, I feel like even relying on mail for the license, like he might be used to people doing stuff for him.
That's
and he doesn't have the drive to really like deliver for himself, you know?
That is very true. Very true. So, the last scene, I don't know if this was necessarily the last scene, but the last thing that like kind of like I was not intrigued by, but that happened in the show was a conversation between Tisha and Marcel. Their conversations are always so hard to watch.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
he treat her like a nigga on the street.
Yes.
Like he has no compassion for her. Like I get it keeping it real, but like, babe, this is your wife. Like have a little bit of compassion or something. Like
what makes you guys say that? What makes you guys say that?
Like the way he talks to her, like this conversation was about her being accountable for what she says. And it was like the whole interaction at the club. And he's just like, well, you never hold yourself accountable and da-da-da-da. And she's like bringing up a point and he's like, well, you think that's the only time that you messed up? Like just going at her. Like,
yeah, he going at her like that. Like they're not even cool.
Right.
Like if I really told you, if I really talked to you about everything you messed up on, like please, like just act like she's just terrible. She's always messing up. She's always doing crazy stuff, and it's just like
that's why
Stormy have my back. Be cool. Like he feels she's her thing is that he has to point out every little thing. If she gets into it with somebody, it's like he has to sit down and chastise her about it. And she's trying to stand on business this season, and he don't like it.
That's why Stormy be calling him a bitch, because that's how he be acting.
Yeah,
listen,
very true.
I don't agree with it, but I agree with it. Okay.
Yeah, it's just his delivery, like how he talks to her. I feel like he don't talk to her like that's his wife. That of I don't know how many years that he loved and adored. He don't talk.
Yeah, I think it's like 15 years, 16 years. One of them. It's like. He talked to her like they on the verge of divorce.
Right. So yeah, we'll see how things continue with this season. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up tonight. We hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know if we missed out on anything that y'all want to talk about in the comments. Make sure y'all drop it down below so we can chat it up in the comments with you guys.
And let us know if you guys are watching Love Island UK or USA, and if you want to talk about it, because you know I'm dying to talk about the transferring of makeup that happens every time this girl kisses this guy. So if you guys are watching Love Island, please let us know.
Because she is like using white powder, like it's freaking baby powder on her face.
Right. Listen, the way I hollered when she told that man that it looked like he was eating powdered donuts, like oh my god, like.
Oh my god!
If you guys are watching Love Island, please let us know in the comments so we can talk about it, because we would love to talk about the Hot Mess Express. Okay,
right? And we could also like do that on live, like if y'all want to like talk about that on live during the week or something like that. So let us know. That would be really fun. Yeah, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
I'm listening.
No, you should.
You shush.
I'm talking. You're like, I'm listening.
I want to do like my superintendent. Flat tire goes, shh.
Let's just finish the last point.
You need to add this in there. You cannot delete this part out.
I'm definitely deleting it.
It's a blooper. Okay, go ahead.